We're on mute there, guys. That's not a good start. Breaking news: Arsenal's assistant manager Steve Round has left the football club by mutual consent. Now, this news was broken in the last couple of hours. Bit of a shock news, and a continuation from Arsenal's busy summer so far. But Steve Round, Arteta's assistant manager, has decided to leave Arsenal Football Club by mutual consent. Interesting one, guys. Very, very interesting one. I'd love to get your thoughts and feelings on it. So make sure you're getting yourselves in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this one. Of course, make sure you're slapping up them likes and subscribing to the channel if you're new and hitting that notification bell so you never, ever miss a stream. But Steve Round has officially left Arsenal Football Club. Now, this news was broken in the last couple of hours by football journalist Charles Watts, and here is what he had to say. He said, "Understand that Steve Round has left Arsenal. He has been Arteta's assistant coach since his appointment in 2019. The decision has been taken by mutual agreement and announced to the club staff." Very, very interesting, because, as he says there, he has been Arteta's assistant coach ever since Arteta was appointed Arsenal manager. And it's a big, big change for Arsenal to make, having to replace their assistant coach. Now, I don't know how much influence Steve Round has in terms of the way that we play on the football pitch or anything like that, but you would say he's a heavily influential guy, in terms of the backroom staff. Going to be heavily missed by the backroom staff and the players. And it's going to be intriguing to see who Arsenal replace Steve Round with. Now, although this is a bit of a shock news, it's not that much of a shock news for me, because earlier on in the summer, Arsenal, it was reported that Arsenal were having conversations with former Arsenal player Santi Cazorla, and the reports were that Arteta is trying really hard to convince Santi Cazorla to return to Arsenal Football Club in a coaching capacity. Arteta believes Cazorla has the personality and the footballing brain to provide priceless knowledge to his young core of players. Santi is yet to decide. So, based off of them reports and what has currently just happened at Arsenal with Steve Round leaving, could we see the return of Santi Cazorla? Of course, we know that Santi Cazorla and Mikel Arteta are very good friends, both Spanish, both played for Arsenal, both helped Arsenal win an FA Cup in their time, in their playing days. Could we see Santi Cazorla back at Arsenal? Oh, Santi Cazorla. Yeah, all the fans singing that loud and proud, as we were when he was here as a player. Santi Cazorla as assistant manager at Arsenal. That would be very, very intriguing and interesting. Not too sure about his qualifications in terms of like his coaching badges and any role that he might specifically have played at other football clubs. However, we've seen that 9 times out of 10, if Arteta wants to make a change, he normally gets his own way. He normally gets the guy that he wants to bring in. But yeah, shock news today about Steve Round, because, you know, Steve Round and Mikel Arteta have had a relationship for a long time. It's not just been since Arteta has come in as Arsenal manager. Steve Round was the assistant manager for David Moyes back at Everton when Arteta used to play for Everton. So a long-standing relationship between the two has come to an end. And, you know, it's a big decision by Arsenal. We've got big expectations on our shoulders this season. We're expected to go out and compete on all fronts. I expect us to go out and compete on all fronts and win a trophy. Steve Round very experienced guy in terms of being an assistant manager. Santi Cazorla, not so much. So this is a very interesting link, and it's going to be interesting to see what Arsenal do to replace Steve Round. Another possibility is a guy that is already currently coaching at Arsenal, and that guy is Carlos Cuesta, the young the young the young man has been again a coach at Arsenal ever since Mikel Arteta was appointed Arsenal manager. He's a very exciting up and coming young coach, very well respected as well. A lot of top clubs was looking at him, and he's kind of being touted as the next big thing in coaching. So could we see Carlos Cuesta maybe step up and become the assistant manager to Mikel Arteta? Very, very intriguing one. But listen, guys, get yourselves in the comment section. Let me know what you think will happen. Carlos Cuesta, Santi Cazorla. Would you like to see Santi Cazorla back at Arsenal? I know for a fact that I would. Do you think this will affect Arsenal next season? Or do you think this is just a minor change to the backroom staff that won't really necessarily have too much of an effect on the football team? Also, we're going to get into talking about Granit Xhaka, Reiss Nelson, and of course William Saliba. Lots of news being confirmed around Arsenal today. Granit Xhaka, let's start with him. Granit Xhaka has now left Arsenal. It is official. Granit Xhaka is now a Bayern Leverkusen player. He has signed a deal, and I'm going to get the screen up to show you guys. Oh, no, it's not that one. It's not that one. It's okay. It's all right. But Granit Xhaka has left Arsenal. He has signed a 5-year contract over at Bayern Leverkusen. 30-year-old, had 1 year remaining on his deal at Arsenal. We decided not to try and extend his contract. Apparently, there was a bit of a gentleman's agreement between Arteta and Granit Xhaka at the beginning of last season that basically stated that at the end of this season, Granit Xhaka would be allowed to move on from Arsenal. There was a little bit of a case where things were kind of up in the air a little bit because, of course, the deal looked to be moving quite slowly. There was reports going out that Arsenal wanted Granit Xhaka's replacement before they allowed him to move on and leave the football club. And now that Declan Rice has been confirmed as an Arsenal player, although he hasn't yet been unveiled, but he will be an Arsenal player, Arsenal have allowed Granit Xhaka to make his move to Bayern Leverkusen. And Granit Xhaka today was in Germany doing his medical. Reports from Fabrizio Romano state that he has signed a 5-year contract at Bayern Leverkusen. And look, I wish the guy well. I hope he does well over at Leverkusen. Glad to see the back of him in a way, because let's be real, the guy has only had one really good season at Arsenal since he has been here. We needed to move on from him, and it is great to see that he has finally left the football club on good terms as well. The worst thing possible for Granit Xhaka and the Arsenal fans probably would have been if he'd have left when, he went through all that antics of coming off the pitch, doing all of that, telling the fans to, F off and all that. But after last season and the performances that he put in for Arsenal, he scored 7 goals. He created a lot. It looked like we'd found, his best position. He was arguably one of our best players last season, no doubt about it, considering, what we've seen from him in previous seasons. This guy used to pick up so many red cards. He didn't get a single red card for Arsenal last season. And it's great to see that he is leaving the football club on good terms with the fans, with the manager, with the players around him. There's no bad feeling and ill feeling for Granit Xhaka at all. I wish him well, as I say, and hopefully, hopefully he carries on his career over at Bayern Leverkusen and does well for them. So that is Granit Xhaka. Let me know in the comment section, guys, your thoughts and feelings on Granit Xhaka leaving Arsenal Football Club. Of course, Arsenal managed to get a decent fee for him in the end, £21 million. Originally, it was touted around that it would be £13 million, but £21 million is what Arsenal have managed to get for Granit Xhaka. In my eyes, that's a very, very good deal for a guy who is 30 years old with 1 year left on his contract. And we move on from Granit Xhaka. Other news today, Reiss Nelson. Reiss Nelson. Now, this is the biggest news at the moment that is currently trending on Twitter, and that is, of course, that Reiss Nelson has officially signed a new contract at Arsenal. And here is what is being said about this one. Fabrizio Romano confirming earlier on today, official confirmed Reiss Nelson signs new long-term deal at Arsenal until June 2027. It also includes an option of until 2028, so a further year option. Here is what Reiss Nelson had to say on signing a new contract. I want to be a part of us going to the next level, which I think the boss, Edu, the backroom staff, and the new players and the current players are making. So it was a train I really didn't want to miss, and I want to be here for it. So I'm glad that I made the right decision. Let's see if we can find what Mikel Arteta had to say on it. There's some more here from Reiss Nelson, who says, I'm kind of lost for words, if I'm honest, because this is a team that I have been here since 8 years old. I'm 23 now. It's been a hell of a journey. I'm just so happy, really, really happy, delighted to sign for this amazing club. My family are Arsenal supporters, so that makes it even happier. But like I said, I'm just really happy. I just can't wait to get started for the new season. Let me see if I can find what Mikel Arteta had to say on this one really quickly. Yeah, see, I can't find anything yet on what Mikel Arteta has said about Reiss Nelson's new contract. But interesting one for me. Me personally, I mean, I like Reiss Nelson. I do like Reiss Nelson. But is he of the level required to take us to the next level and compete year in, year out? That is yet to be seen. He had good appearances for Arsenal last season, coming off the bench, scoring 2 goals against Nottingham Forest when he was called upon, when Bukayo Saka was not available, scoring a wonder goal in the last kick of the game against Bournemouth. Of course, we all remember that one, keeping our hopes alive for the Premier League title. He has good moments for Arsenal. Do I feel that, if he's given more game time, we might see a little bit more from Reiss Nelson? Quite possibly. Has he hit the heights that we all expected from a player who was touted when he was up and coming from, Hale End as being the next big thing? Not really. We haven't really seen the performances from him to say that, this guy is going to be what we need over on that right-hand side. However, in glimpses, he's shown what he can do. Hopefully, he continues to improve. Hopefully, he gets given a little bit more game time next season. And hopefully, he can prove the doubters like myself wrong. Because when this news first broke, I was a little bit underwhelmed. Let me just put it that way. It's clear to see we need somebody on that right-hand side who can provide competition for Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka played an awful lot of football for Arsenal again last season. And you saw towards the back end of the season that he kind of started to burn out. Let's put it that way, because the last 8 to 10 games of the season, Bukayo Saka was not the real Bukayo Saka. Let's be honest. He was very, very poor at times. You could just tell that this guy was exhausted. Now, hopefully the manager, having given Reiss Nelson a new contract, we was going to be losing him on a free, let's not forget, will trust in Reiss Nelson a little bit more when it is required to kind of maybe rest Bukayo Saka. Because let's be real, we don't want to burn Bukayo Saka out. And I kind of look on this one, is this a cost-cutting exercise by Arsenal? I think so. Because, again, like I say, in the big moments, Arteta didn't call upon Reiss Nelson. When Bukayo Saka was playing poorly, he didn't go, right, you can sit on the bench. I trust you, Reiss Nelson, to come in and take the mantle and continue on without there being a drop in level. And I know, Bukayo Saka is one of the best in Europe, arguably in the world, no doubt. But if you're going to compete on all fronts, you have to have that level of, I need to play well this week. Otherwise, my position within the squad might be under threat from the player that's coming in. And I just don't feel like Bukayo Saka feels that way when Reiss Nelson is his competition. How much would it have cost Arsenal to go out and get a new winger that can compete with Bukayo Saka? You're talking 40, 50 million, 60 million pounds. Now, giving Reiss Nelson a new contract is a hell of a lot cheaper than, going out there and spending the money on a winger that can actually compete with Bukayo Saka. So we just have to hope and pray that, having taken this decision to give Reiss Nelson his, new contract, don't get it twisted. This guy is talented, but Arteta needs to be able to get this talent out of Reiss Nelson if we are to kind of gain something back from handing him a new contract. He's a hell-end boy. Started at Arsenal when he was 8. He made that very clear. I want to see the hunger and the fight and the passion for him, to kind of fight his way into this team, if at all possible. And we're going to need him, at some point this season, because there's going to be a lot of games to be played, especially when we're back in the Champions League. You don't tend to make many changes in the Champions League. Your first team tends to be, playing in the Champions League and the Premier League, of course, if we're fighting for a league title, which we should be this season. So Bukayo Saka is going to play a lot of football again this season, and there are going to be times where Reiss Nelson is going to have to step up and step in. And I just hope Arsenal have made the right decision on that one. Again, guys, get yourselves in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on Reiss Nelson's new contract at Arsenal, taking him till 2027 with an option of a year's extension. Is this something that you would have done? Would you have given Reiss Nelson a new contract? Do you think he deserves it? Is he adequate enough in terms of his quality and his hunger and his desire in order to be able to compete with Bukayo Saka for a starting position at Arsenal? Can we rely on him? Is the big question. Can Arteta rely on him? Hopefully so. But let me know in the comment section. And of course, guys, don't forget to slap them likes and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit that notification bell as well. Now, the next subject we're going to talk about, and the final subject as well, is, of course, another confirmation today. And that is William Saliba has signed a new contract at Arsenal. Thank the Lord. And I'm sure you'll all agree with me on that one. William Saliba signing a new contract at Arsenal is massive massive, massive news for the football club. It is extremely underrated how much of good business this is for Arsenal, in a way, because everybody looks in the transfer window at players that are being signed for big money. Keeping hold of William Saliba is bigger than Arsenal signing Declan Rice for 105 million. That is how important this guy is to our football club. That is how important this guy is to our defence. And we see that last season when this guy got injured, when he was not available to play, we really, really struggled defensively big time. And there's just so, like, this guy is only young still, it's his first season in the Premier League, and he took to it last season like a duck to water. He was ridiculously good. He's only going to get better. There's no way in hell that Arsenal would have been able to replace him. So the fact that we have got this done is a massive, massive, massive news for Arsenal. Now, here it is. So Fabrizio Romano, again confirming this one, says exclusive, big day for Arsenal as William Saliba signs his new long-term contract, valid until June 2027. It's finally done and sealed. Saliba accepted the proposal in June. Documents are finally signed. Today is the day. It will also include an option until 2028. So, William Saliba will be an Arsenal player for at least the next 5 years. Great news. I'm excited because this guy, like I said, he's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And he is going to go to new levels next season, I believe. And he'll continue to get better and better and better and better. Just imagine, if we couldn't get this over the line, William Saliba would be going into this season with 1 year left on his deal. How it ever got to that in the first place, I will never, ever, ever know. But I think Mikel Arteta and the football club realise just how much of a gem William Saliba is and how desperate they are to keep him. Didn't look like that at the beginning of the window, by the way, because the reports at the beginning of the window stated that Arsenal were offering £120,000 per week for William Saliba, which in my eyes was a bit of a piss take. I ain't going to lie, because this guy was arguably our best player last season when he was playing. And to offer him 20,000 more than Eddie Nketiah a week, I just think the club, kind of taking the mick a little bit. And I'm glad to see that it didn't backfire on him. And William Saliba, continued on with the negotiations, even those, if that was me, I'd be like, you joking? You offering me 20 grand more than Eddie Nketiah? Are you serious? Like, look at what I've done for your club. Look at how much of a big player I was for you last season. Look at how much you missed me when I wasn't in the team. And Gabriel Jesus actually did an interview earlier on yesterday, and he stated how much of an important player William Saliba is for Arsenal, and how, we kind of didn't look the same without him in the team. And it was blatantly obvious for Arsenal fans to see anyway. But this guy is so important to where we want to go as a football club. And it is big, big, big news that we have managed to get William Saliba sign up to a new contract, new long-term contract. And yeah, really pleasing. So yeah, get yourselves in the comment section, guys. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on William Saliba's new contract. It's reported to be around about £200,000 per week. Fully deserved as well, by the way. And yeah, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to slap the likes and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the notification bell as well so you never miss a stream. I'm going to go through a few of your comments and then I'm going to get out of here, guys. I will be back later on this evening, not on this channel. Igal Talks football. If by some miracle you guys are not subscribed to Egal or you don't watch Egal's content, make sure you head over there tonight at 8 p.m. We will be talking about all things Arsenal, transfers, and most importantly, who can get close to Manchester City next season. Of course, Arsenal will, kind of be in that conversation, but we'll be talking about other football clubs as well. So make sure you get yourselves over to Egal Talks Football at 8 p.m. tonight. I will be there. Let's go. Let's get through a few of your comments, guys. The McChronicle says, wonder if Santi Cazorla is taking his spot on the staff, maybe. Exactly. Yeah, hopefully. It'd be great to see Santi Cazorla back at Arsenal. You can imagine Santi Cazorla coming out at the Emirates, first game of the season. Oh, Santi Cazorla. We'll be loving life again. It's going to be interesting to see, and we will keep up to date with this one, and I will do videos about this one, no doubt. Luca says, hey, how are you doing? I'm good, Luca. How are you? I don't know who this staff is. You don't know who Steve Round is? You don't know who the assistant manager is? I'm surprised by that. Bro. Steve says, I remember Cazorla. He's retired, was a good player. If he never had injury, he could have done more. Yeah, no doubt about that. Santi Cazorla was an exceptional player at Arsenal. We really, really missed something in that midfield when Cazorla got injured and when he left the football club. He was a great player. If he didn't get an injury, I'd love to think, how good he would have been at Arsenal if he didn't get that big injury. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Cazorla. Suleiman says, I want Arteta out. I want Pep in, Klopp in, Emery in, Ancelotti in, and Simeone in. Okay. We'll have that conversation. I suppose, at some point in this season, we'll be talking about Arteta in, Arteta out. I don't think you're getting Pep in, though, bro. Or Klopp. Emery, we've already gone down that route with Emery. Ancelotti, yeah, maybe. Simeone, yeah, maybe. But we'll talk about that later on in the season, no doubt. It will be interesting to see how he does at Leverkusen after 5-year deal, and if he wins trophies. They're likely the domestic cup, if any. Yeah. Leverkusen, not really one of them teams that are necessarily expected to win over in Germany. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he does. No doubt we'll keep an eye on Granit Xhaka over the next, few years. Niall says, afternoon, Brandon. How are we doing, Niall? Big up yourself. Lucas says, Reiss Nelson for me is like, yes, I give him new deal. Not for 4 years. I can understand with the 4 years. Brandon, he could get good amount of money. English player. Yeah, I don't know. It's a difficult one. Nelson is a good young player, but he is always injured. He's all right. He's got certain qualities that I like, but can he prove it on the big stage? Can he be the man to push Bukayo Saka? Can he be the man to kind of force his way into this team? We're going to have to wait and see, aren't we? We really are. I don't mind giving him a new deal, but 4 years is so much. Yeah, I agree. Static says, hit the like button, everyone. Yes, make sure you're doing that. Please. It helps boost the algorithm. We're flying on our way to 2,000 subscribers as well. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel if you're not already. Please, that would be very much appreciated. We've got Kirtan in here, says true. Early Doors Football TV says, big up Brandon, big up yourself, my friend. How are you? Steve says, I watched you on Hussam's channel yesterday. This is football. It's a good channel to watch. Igal was on it and another Arsenal fan. That's right. Yeah. So, guys, if you haven't watched that video, go over to Husam's channel, which is This Is Football, and go and watch that video on playback. Good debate yesterday surrounding Arsenal between me, Agal, and Kuran, and of course Husam as well. As long as he can keep injury free, then it would be good for the player and good for the club as Saliba gels that defence. I agree. I think Saliba will be fairly injury free. I think this back injury was kind of like a, well, it's not a major injury anyway. It's not something that we have to really worry about. I hope, I hope. Um, but we're just gonna have to wait and see, and hopefully William Saliba can stay fit this season because we really did miss him last season towards the back end. Let's hope. Let's hope Pep Holding get out soon too. Yeah, we need to get Holding out. We need to move a lot of players on from this club this season, this summer. So, yeah, hopefully Arsenal can get that done. Granit Xhaka seems to be like the start of an influx of players, maybe being shown the exit door. Of course, we've got Nicola Pepe and Sambi Lokonga and Rob Holding, and there's so many players that could be moved on from this football club. Afternoon. Hope all okay. And yeah, there we are. That's the end of the comments section. And look, guys, like I said, I will be back later. I will be back on Igal Talks Football at 8 p.m. tonight. So make sure you tune in for that one. Let me know in the comment section, guys, any other thoughts and feelings that you've got on each individual topic that we have spoken about today. Steve Round being, moved on or leaving the football club by mutual consent is an interesting one. I'm going to get out of here, guys. Big up yourselves. Make sure you slap the likes on the way out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. And I will be back again very soon. Cheers, guys. Peace.